Hey guys, this is Man to Man Podcast, a podcast about all types of basketball. I'm one of your hosts, Jacob Rosenfarb.
Hey guys, Jeff Griffith, another one of your hosts,
and I'm the producer, Josh Sackles.
It's been a couple days here in the NBA. I mean, first of all, the NBA's back.
The NBA's back.
Oh my god, I'm so happy.
Thank the Lord, yeah. This is the best news.
I texted Jacob, and this is one of my prouder moments of the week. I texted Jacob a screenshot of a good 10, 12 NBA games that were happening or get about to happen, and then a little meme of the nut button. And I feel like that nut button is very accurate to how we all felt having the NBA back. Would you guys agree?
Sure. I am positive every viewer or every listener over 40 has every idea what we're talking about right now. What the nut button is.
Oh man, all two of our over 40 viewers out of the 7. Right.
Exactly.
But we had a wonderful night Tuesday night watching these games.
Oh man.
Great doubleheader opening up. We had our ATL Wings. As you forget, Man to Man is presented by ATL Wings.
Yeah, shout out to ATL
Even if they don't
Wings.
know it, they are our presenting sponsor. We had our Wings, and we watched the 76ers and Celtics, Thunder and Warriors. Jacob, no heartbreaking injuries to start the season.
Exactly. Nobody is lost for the year.
Yes.
No, there are no devastating moments from either of those games. It was just
Gordon Hayward looked injured.
He did. He looked a little crippled, but overall still a very fun night, very successful.
I think we all vividly remember last year. We walked in for opening night, and we walked in right after that injury happened to Gordon Hayward, and that was... Well, we all just saw the replays, and I think all unison just, shuddered, ugh, just, seeing that play.
That was the second worst play. I mean, I'm going to say I saw that one live, air quotes around live. Paul George is the one I saw live that will haunt me forever.
And that wasn't even in an NBA game, right?
No, that was in a USA scrimmage, I think.
Oh, that sucks. That's the worst. The guy gets injured in a pickup game or a practice or getting out of bed or something like that.
Getting out of bed.
That's happened.
I know it has.
Did that happen to a Padres player?
Probably.
Okay, I can see that.
Okay, they definitely lied about how that player got injured. Come on, getting out of bed. It might have involved the bed, but it definitely was something else.
I really hope the Padres don't listen to this and hear Juice accusing them of lying.
Yeah, really.
But
I'm just gonna leave it right there. It probably involved the bed, maybe not getting out of it.
Back to the far superior sport of basketball. Let's actually get onto the court now. Celtics Sixers. Celtics win 105 to 87. It was close for the first 2.5-ish quarters, and Boston kind of pulled away heading into the fourth. Ben Simmons 19, 15, and 8. Jason Tatum 23 and 9, kind of your standout performers. Jacob, first takeaways.
I mean, we knew this coming in that Boston's depth would be ridiculous, but holy shnikes.
It really took over in the second half.
I mean, when there's no real drop-off between your first and second units, that's just insane. I think that's just going to carry them to some absolutely ridiculous regular season numbers.
Yeah, I believe your take while we were watching the game was this second line for Boston is the 12th seed in the East.
Yeah. 12th seed in the West. I think they're a playoff team in the East.
That's what you said. That's correct.
I mean, so just to run it down, Terry Rozier and Marcus Smart would be their guards. Aaron Baines and Daniel Theus would be their big men, and they'd use that third forward spot, or that last spot, that fourth spot, liberally, but it'd probably be Semi Ojeleye. And that's a okay team. That's a fine team.
The fact that Semi Ojeleye only got a minute last night.
I know, right?
And he's a solid player.
He's so good. Yeah. He's fantastic. I mean, he's a key contributor on most other teams. He's like a good 7th or 8th man on most other teams.
Can we talk about the best plus minus in this entire game being Terry Rozier?
I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
Plus 22.
Terry Rozier, top 20 point guard.
You've said that before.
Deserves his own team. He's really
Although
good.
he's basically a 6th starter. If you look at the minutes, I mean, him and Marcus Smart are basically 6 and 7 starters. No one had more than 30 minutes.
I know.
And none of those 7, Horford, Brown, Hayward, Tatum, Irving, Smart, Rozier, had less than 25. So they're using all 7 of those great rotation players kind of equally, like they're all starters.
Yeah.
I think they have the right 5 in place as quote-unquote starters, but when you have this kind of depth, you can kind of rotate in.
Exactly, yeah.
Minutes. That's such a luxury.
They are any sort of matchup. They are wildly prepared. They are overqualified for any sort of matchup.
Because if you look at the flip side, Ben Simmons 43 minutes, Embiid 37, Covington on the floor for 34 minutes.
Only putting up 8 points in those. That's rough.
I mean, Isaiah Kanan also had 34 minutes, so I mean...
Yeah. Okay, yeah, but one of those teams is competing for a title, and one of them is very content at being a bottom 5 team.
Before this podcast, Jacob said to me, this year the Phoenix Suns will be an NBA franchise. Yeah. And that says a lot.
Yeah. They have not earned that distinction in a couple years.
Right. Back to TD Garden, who one time my friend called The Garden,
Interesting.
And that's just heresy.
I mean, that's just incorrect. But that's
right.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
As long as we all agree, the Garden, the best venue in sports, Madison Square Garden.
Facts.
Except when there are Rangers games there.
Fair. That's okay.
Okay.
I mean, I don't. I mean, hockey.
Yeah, I don't.
Basketball. Okay. Back to where were we on the Celtics and Sixers?
Just the disparity in
yes,
depth between
yes.
these two teams.
I mean, if you look at the Sixers bench, T.J. McConnell has 22 minutes. J.J. Redick played 30. I mean, we both agree J.J. Redick should have started.
Yeah, it's probably the best.
We both agree that the starting lineup should be something along the lines of, in no particular order, Fultz, Simmons, Embiid, Sarge, and Redick. Correct?
So okay, so
you want Sarge on the
That's
bench.
the main
That's
distinction between us.
You want Sarge on the bench. I agree with that. It just
My perfect Sixers lineup is Fultz, Redick, Simmons. No, my bad. Fultz, Redick, Covington, Simmons, and Embiid.
Yes, I agree with that. And I don't mean to steal your reasoning,
Got
but
it all.
the more I watch that team, because you told me that before we watched that game when we were driving back from our presenting sponsor ATL Wings. You told me that, and I completely agree. Having watched it, that Saric needs to be a primary scorer when he's on the floor, and he can do that. And it's a two-way win-win, because if he's coming off the bench, not only can he be that, but he's with a group of players that need him
Exactly,
to be that.
that need that. So it's a yeah, you're right. It's a perfect double-edged sword.
You can't 5-5 platoon this team.
Exactly, and so I'm curious to see how Brett Brown works forward with the collection of players he has. This team is clearly to me a trade away. Like if you're serious contending about contending in the East and about really have true title aspirations, T.J. McConnell can't be getting 22 minutes. Landry Shamet can't be getting 13. Amir Johnson can't be getting 11. Like those are rough. Amir Johnson probably shouldn't be in the league anymore. I mean that's probably your best backup big right now. That's bad. I think pushing the alarms for me.
I think one thing they flashed this stat on TNT, and I think entering the season we kind of forgot about this. The Sixers started last season 25-25. Like there was a point in mid-season where they were. I remember a couple of buddies and I went to their game against the Kings at home, and they lost. And that dropped them to something like they were either one game over or a couple games under 500. They weren't in the top 8 in the East. I think we a little bit underrated how important Ersan Ilyasova and more importantly Marco Bellinelli were to that playoff push last year. Because when Embiid went out and they won 16 straight and they had experience leading them, I mean I don't think Bellinelli and Ilyasova are players you can't find prototypes of again.
True.
And B, elite talent. But clearly, those pieces helped a lot more than Amir Johnson and freaking Korkmaz are helping this team.
Do you guys think that the addition of Jimmy Butler, who I think would add the veteran leadership Jeff wanted, and the talent that they need to compete with this Celtics team, do you think that could help them beat the Celtics in a 7-game series?
Help them? Yeah. I think the Sixers would improve if they got Jimmy Butler, even if it's for Rocco and Sarge.
That's a poor question. Do you think they would beat the Celtics if they had Jimmy Butler?
In a 7-game series?
Yep.
Maybe?
Good answer.
I don't
right
know.
on the fence there. I
don't want to say. I want to say yes, but I don't feel comfortable saying yes.
Sure.
I think a Sixers team with Jimmy Butler can compete on the level of the Celtics, but that depth still scares me.
Of course.
That depth is still hard to match.
Of
and
course.
I think if the Sixers really want to win this year, you get Butler and you get a Bellinelli-like player.
Yeah.
Some kind of mid-season acquisition like that who can be a leader and be an extra scorer for the playoff push. If you get both of those pieces, you contend for a trip to the finals.
I couldn't agree more on that independent point.
Yes.
I do want to take the counterpoint to what you were talking about with Jimmy Butler in that if they do end up pulling the trigger on a trade, and I doubt it would be Covington and Sarge just because as great as Butler is, those are a lot of assets for a guy you're giving up who's only there for now at this point less than a year, and you're not positive about re-signing him.
Sure.
So I think a realistic trade is like Covington. Maybe I think Zaire Smith is probably like the tipping point. Like that's if the Sixers are willing to throw him in, this deal probably gets done. But if you have to sacrifice more depth to give up Butler, like you're already struggling with depth, and then they give up more assets, do like a 3-for-1 to get Butler. Like at that point, you're only trotting out 5 quality NBA players, and as awesome as that, like as awesome as a starting lineup of
I don't
that
know
includes.
if you give up JJ Redick.
Yeah, no. So you're probably You're probably keeping JJ Redick. Maybe you're keeping McConnell.
You're losing one of your current main 6.
Yeah,
and one other piece.
Yeah, that's questionable if the Timberwolves do that. Who knows? I mean, just because it's hard to gauge what Thibodeau wants for Butler because like he's not there for a rebuild. Clearly, like I don't think they're bad enough to be truly rebuilding. Right. So I'm not really sure what Thibodeau wants. But if they're able to grab Butler without sacrificing too much depth, they have to do it. But for a team like the Sixers who can sacrifice literally no depth to me, I don't know if they're in the position to make a 3-for-1 type of trade.
I don't mean to get off topic here, and I want to keep talking about opening night, but you mentioned the Timberwolves and that concept of a rebuild, and I almost wonder if because A, the Warriors are so good, and B, the West is also so good, if we're living in an NBA now where it almost seems like because the bar is set so high, a team like the Timberwolves feels like they need a rebuild, even though in a normal NBA, they're probably a top 5 team.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think you're incorrect. It all hinges on Butler here. It all hinges on it. Because if Butler stays, they were on pace for like high 50s wins last year. That's still a really good team.
Yeah.
And all that needs is one injury and you're in the finals.
Right.
You know? So and especially with a coach like Thibodeau who is like, the last thing he wants to do, the last reason he came to Minnesota was to do a rebuild. Like, he came to Minnesota thinking this is a...
Well, he came to Minnesota with a great core.
Exactly. This is a championship caliber team.
So did he come there before the Warriors started the dynasty or mid-dynasty?
Mid-dynasty.
That's what I thought. Two or 3 years ago, max?
Yeah, I want to say he was hired in, like, 2015.
Mm-hmm.
So,
you keep talking. I'll look that up.
So, anywho, this Timberwolves team is still solid, and it all depends on Butler, obviously. But...
end of the 2016 season.
Yeah, 2016 season. So I'm curious to see how this Timberwolves team reacts. I think it's time to trade Butler, but I don't know if that means a rebuild because they might not be bad enough.
Sure, yeah. I think more so my point wasn't that they need a rebuild. I think it's that when teams in this Western Conference aren't competing with the top 2 or 3, it almost because like when what you've built isn't winning, usually your first thought is we need to change something.
Yeah,
but I think any of these top 7, 8, 9 teams in the West is probably a top 3 seed in a normal Western Conference.
Yeah.
Pre 2016, and it's almost getting to the point where these teams are going to start feeling like they need to rebuild or feeling like they need to make drastic moves to somehow catch up to the Warriors, which they're just not going to do. Yeah. And I think if you're a Western Conference team, you really just have to plan for 2020, 2021. You need to start planning for 2 years down the road because the Warriors are going to win the West this year. And they're probably going to win less next year unless they lose KD and Clay. Like if that happens, the Warriors might not be the best team in the West, or they might not be the odds-on lock to win the West. But at least this year you're not winning it.
Yeah, this year.
So I don't think the Timberwolves. I think the only reason the Timberwolves trade Butler is the clubhouse issues.
Yeah, sure.
If they're trading him for any kind of we want to change the look of our team on the court, I think that's a premature decision because at this point you are playing for a 2020 NBA championship in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree with
that's more so the point I was making.
I gotcha.
But back to opening night.
yeah.
This season's still happening.
I was going to say, Jeff, let's talk about the Warriors right now because they almost dropped that opening night game at home in Golden State to the Thunder without Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
They almost dropped it.
Dennis Schroeder stepped up big time. I mean, he had that air
great.
ball towards the end,
that was
which
rough. Russ makes that shot.
Exactly, Russ makes that shot. But that was super disappointing. But overall, great game from Schroeder. 21, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. That's pretty impressive.
Dennis Schroeder might win 6th Man of the Year.
There's a great call.
Yeah,
he might.
He's probably going to back up Russ. Yeah, for sure.
I thought of this morning. I want to get your guys' opinion on it. What would you think until Roberson comes back? Why not just put Schroeder at the 2 guard?
I think same kind of reason that we talked about with Saric in that like putting your 5 best players on the court at the same time may not be the best call to start the game.
Yeah,
to end the game, that's probably true. Their best 5 includes Schroeder probably, but that second unit is lacking in creativity and like playmaking, and so Schroeder's really going to help.
Yeah, you want to have a guy like that. If you have a point guard who's clearly that good,
Schroeder,
he's not Russ,
but
he's clearly good.
He
clearly can run this team. You want to have him facilitating your second line, because if you can have that kind of talent, not just on your second line, but like if you can feel confident without most of your starters on the floor because you have that point guard facilitating, running the offense, and with the ball in his hands scoring, that's a luxury. If you have a player like that who you can feel, this guy's coming off the bench, he's leading our other guys off the bench, and we can feel okay with this second line on the court for 10, 12 minutes of a game. You know?
Definitely, yeah. So I love
I'm with
Shooter.
Jacob here on the bench thing. Yeah.
I really liked what I've seen from some individual Thunder's players who I really hope would step up. Most notably Terrence Ferguson. I mean, put up a goose egg in this game, which is disappointing. But overall, what we've seen from Ferguson, including preseason and kind of off-season hype, I really think he could be a key contributor for this Thunder team. He is slotting in as as Roberson's backup, and now the starter with him injured. He is super athletic, freaky athlete, solid defender. Really needs to learn the intricacies of the shooting guard position. Mm-hmm. But once he clears that hurdle, he's going to be solid in this league.
I thought of this question a while ago, and I am very glad that I didn't actually end up asking it seriously because I think I know the answer. I think the answer is blatantly obvious. I was going to ask, who did we learn more about, the Thunder or the Warriors? But I think we learned a ton about Oklahoma City. Yeah. I think this is a team that both of us not necessarily wrote off, but I think in this Western Conference, we just kind of look at the 3 through 9, and we're just like, they're not the Warriors. And I am in no way saying that the Thunder are beating the Warriors in any series, in any, in any playoff situation. But I think this Thunder team, two things. I think this Thunder team, I think this Thunder team, has proven to us that they can at least play with the best team in the league, which doesn't necessarily mean they're going to beat them in the playoffs, but I think it proves to us that they're maybe better than we might have expected. I mean, no week one overreactions here. But the second thing is, how much... Here's a question for you. I want to word this as a question. Who did we learn more about, the Thunder or Carmelo Anthony?
Oh, interesting. I'm still taking the Thunder. That's a great question, though.
You see my point, though.
Definitely. Just how big of an impact his departure has on this team. It's crazy.
He rode the bench for the Rockets. He did not start.
No. I mean, good. You should not be starting.
I agree.
He's not an NBA
Syracuse fan. Carmelo should not start.
But back to the Thunder. This team just makes a lot more sense without Carmelo there. There seems like a lot more cohesion. Paul George seems kind of not at peace, but a little more feel confident in his role now that he's not entering contract year. And so I'm super curious to see how far this team goes. Yeah. It match up super well with the Warriors. Russ versus Steph is always incredible. When Roberson's healthy, there's no better defender in the league. So I don't know. I'm excited to see where this Thunder's future lies.
Again, never in the business of the week one overreaction, but a thought. Just a thought. Based on what we saw last night and Wednesday night, and Tuesday night, and we'll get to last night's games and why I'm saying this, but what would you say percentage odds the Thunder are the 2 seed in the West? After what we saw,
like 20, 30.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's a legit shot they now the 2 seed.
Maybe this leads us into last night's games, if I ask this question, but screw it. It's whatever. The Rockets got killed by the Pelicans. You're saying you learned more about New Orleans in that game than Houston?
Yeah, I mean, I hate day one overreactions. I just think this Rockets team's old, and I think they care less about the regular season than they did last year. So I'm not gonna care until
and they're still learning about each other. They're still new to each other. And like we said, they lost a lot of what made last year's team click together so well. So they got to figure out how that fits together. I think it makes sense that they lost. Losing by 19 kind of shocked me.
A little disappointing.
Anthony Davis also went off.
Exactly. AD's crazy. Yeah. For me, my metric with basketball is Christmas. You have to I'm giving these great teams a free pass until Christmas. Okay. And then I will start to grow concerned. But
so what's the win percentage? Like how many games do you play by Christmas? 30?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. What's the win total that scares you about, say, a Rockets by Christmas? If they have 16,
if they're rolling around 500 and there are serious concerns that we can palpable concerns that we can see on the court rather than just they're not winning games. If there's if we see a steep drop off from Harden in terms of playmaking, or the loss of Ariza is more significant than any of us realized, or a step back from Capella. If there are tangible things we can point to, then a 500 record by Christmas is concerning for sure. Mm-hmm. But if there's no real obvious difference from last year, the NBA schedule is so wonky, and the beginning of the year comes so quickly. I don't know. Like I said, I don't really get that worried. So even 500 is still not the like. Okay, after that you have to start producing to me. After if you're not improving on your 500 after Christmas, and you might just be a 500 team. Mm-hmm. But yeah, 500 is about the lowest I'll go for a good team.
Okay, now talk to me about those Pelicans. That was impressive.
Yeah.
I remember I was talking. Josh and I went to a little movie event for his internship last night. He does a great job doing some PR for some films, and we were there. And
While we're mentioning it, seriously, when you're not watching basketball, go watch Can You Ever Forget Me?
Yes, outstanding film.
When you are done
Holy
listening
cow,
to this
Melissa
podcast
McCarthy.
and watching basketball, please go watch this movie. It's a really good movie.
A little bit of PR from
Yeah,
Josh.
that's some PR there.
But as the non-PR representative here, well, I'm in PR in a little bit, but I'm not Josh's PR. Incredible film, really incredible.
Okay,
Basketball.
back to the Pellies.
So, the reason I brought up last night was I walk up to Josh, pulling out the scores for the first time, and I'm gonna tell him that the Nets and Pistons are in a close game in the late third or whatever.
Nothing
it was.
but respect, but we can talk about that later.
Yes, Juice from the New Jersey, New York,
The Brooklyn Nets.
area, big Brooklyn
Exactly.
Nets guy. So I was gonna tell him that, and then my eyes jump out of my head when I see the Pelicans are up 95-68 on Houston. And I said to Josh, Houston has 68 points in the late third. What do you think New Orleans has? You know what Josh said to me? 45.
Because I'm like,
Nice.
And I was like, 95. And he goes, 95?
because I'm like, okay, he's telling me 68. I'm like, okay, like it's definitely something like, oh, the Pelicans like look really bad. Anthony Davis looks really bad. I definitely thought the Rockets were going to be good to great going into the season, and the Pelicans were going to be okay to good.
I have to be honest. At that point, I think it was like 4 minutes to go in the third. Anthony Davis already had like 22, 11, and 8. And the fact that he went the next 16 minutes of basketball with no more assists makes me mad. But can we just talk about this stat line? I'm going to go all the way across. 13 of 21 from the field. 6 of 7 at the line. 16 boards. 8 assists. 3 steals. 3 blocks. 32 points.
Yeah.
Those are some guard numbers. Holy cow. If you throw in a couple of threes there, that's LeBron Giannis numbers. Like, that's incredible.
I mean, already those were LeBron
Yeah.
Giannis numbers to me.
And he didn't even have the best plus minus on the team.
I mean, doesn't surprise me. This Pellies team is a lot more complete than I think people are giving them credit for.
I think it's a little too much relying on its starting 5.
Yeah, they are shallow
No
for
depth.
sure.
No depth.
I think there's nice pieces though.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Julius Randle had some nice points off the bench.
Exactly. Julius Randle's really good.
25 points.
Darius Miller's solid. Solomon Hill's solid. They have some pieces. They need a backup guard bad.
2 minutes to Jahlil Okafor.
Oh yeah, baby.
So
Yeah.
Frank Jackson isn't that backup guard to you?
As much as I love
Man.
Duke, great Frank Jackson.
Screw the Lakers, man. I wish these guys still had Rondo. When they started clicking in the late season last year, they pushed all the way to the 3 seed at that one point. I was really enjoying watching Rajon Rondo.
Me too.
And Anthony Davis.
That was a beautiful basketball team to watch.
Here's the
Yeah.
thing
We had-
though. Alfred Payton can replicate 80% of that production. I mean, last night
You've said that before.
threw up a triple-double of 10 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists.
I love that.
That's pretty cool.
I love that.
He's solid. He's going to, like I said, he's going to provide about 80 to 70% of that production.
Also, one of the sneakiest great nights of the young season. Nikola Mirotic, 30 points in 30 minutes, 6 of 8 from 3, 10 boards.
Yeah, I think I saw some stat that like this is the first like opening night in a minute since 2 teammates have put up 30 and 10 in the same game.
That's
I believe
I'm
it.
excited for this Pellies team.
Me too.
So I know we were very high when we made our West predictions on obviously the top 5 of Golden State, Houston, Oklahoma City, Utah, and LA in whatever particular order.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm not trying to do the whole week 1 overreaction thing.
Of course.
But I do think I might have slept a little bit on New Orleans.
Of course, yeah, I understand. I think
And I think it just tells us how good the West 1 through 8, 1 through 10 really is.
it's ridiculous. It's so stacked.
like this is the team we predicted as the 6th seed.
Yeah.
And looking at their roster, they're not that bad.
No,
They're really good. They're probably the 2 or 3 seed in the East.
Yes, definitely.
This team is better than the Sixers.
Wow, that's a take. That I'm not positive.
Better
that's
right
true
now.
yet.
Better right now.
After one game from each.
Better as of today.
It's at
Okay,
least
they're
a
at least better
conversation.
than the Pacers.
It's at least a conversation. Definitely
Yeah,
better
they're
than
at
the
least better
Pacers.
than the Pacers. They're getting home court in the East.
Yes,
for sure.
My biggest gripe with this Pelicans team is Mirotic, Davis, and Randall are probably 3 of their 5 best players,
And they're all fours.
but I'm not positive they can all play together.
That's true. Yeah.
Obviously, Davis and Mirotic is a fantastic combo.
I feel like Mirotic can kind of play as a quasi 3 though.
Okay, so here's
And
the
Anthony
thing.
Davis can play as a 5.
Mirotic is a fantastic shooter, but to me, your position is who you can guard. And
Sure.
Mirotic can't guard threes.
Sure.
So yeah, he's a fantastic. So the best option would be Randall at the 3, and
Defensively speaking.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so
They
it's
didn't-
questionable if that can work.
They didn't start a true 3.
No, exactly.
Their only true 3s they played were Miller and Hill.
Exactly. They're lacking that true that traditional space your floor 6'7" to 6'9" power or small forward.
They're only oh my god, they didn't play a traditional 2 guard. They didn't play a traditional like a true 2 guard.
Yeah.
You know, the Suns have a lot of wings, and the Pellies have a lot of big men. Maybe there's something that can be
Little swap.
worked out here.
Yankee swap.
And like an Alfred Payton for Trevor Ariza swap would be interesting.
I don't know if the Suns want to give up Trevor Ariza.
I mean, they
Alfred
should give up
Payton.
Trevor Ariza.
Back to the Suns.
Okay, if there's one of their billion wings, I feel like they don't want to lose. It's Trevor Ariza if he has a better contract.
Yes, but they're not
If
giving
he
up
has a
Josh
better
Jackson.
contract.
They're not trading Josh Jackson now, and they're not
Yeah,
trading
I
Mikal
guess.
Bridges. So
I-
if there's a way
They
to ditch,
Mikal Bridges didn't see the floor last
I
night,
know, how
and that's
crazy is
frustrating.
that? How crazy is that?
Like,
That just
as a Philadelphian and Sixers fan and former resident of the Chestmont League, in which Mikal Bridges played his high school basketball at Great Valley, which always lost to Downingtown West. The fact that he didn't play after the Sixers gave the Suns Mikal Bridges for a guy who also didn't play, that makes me mad. Like, if the Sixers still had Mikal Bridges, he might have seen the floor.
he should.
He definitely seen the floor
1000%.
because
Yeah.
we don't have Zaire Smith.
Yeah.
And the fact that he didn't play, I already hate the Suns, but man, that's I'm really mad at the Suns. That's pretty.
Yeah,
upsetting.
I might have to retract my statement of a real NBA franchise.
Yeah.
No, not really.
No. The biggest upsetting thing. I mean, wish Mikal Bridges had played. I mean, 0 minutes. That's Mikal. If the
Tell us how you really
the
feel,
most
Jeff.
upsetting thing about that game was not that. I wish I'd seen more out of that backcourt that literally a week ago I called the best backcourt in the league in 5 years.
So
And I'm giving them those 5 years. I'm not going to
give
judge
the-
them after a day.
give the listeners who provide some clarity for the listeners here.
Oh,
we've
yes.
we've switched games
Excuse
now
me,
to
excuse me. Dennis Smith Jr. and Luka Doncic of the Mavs, who combined for 23 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists. Which, if one player had that, that's a great game.
combined for
But
that in
between two.
a 21-point loss
In
to the Suns-
Phoenix.
to the Suns.
Yeah.
Yikes.
that's- oof.
Yikes.
Combined minus 37.
Yeesh.
And
No,
I'm not saying I'm not saying they're going to be bad. And I'm not saying this is accurate to who they are as players. But I would have loved to see a better start from these two.
yeah, me too.
Because in theory, they're going to be so fun to watch if they play to their potential.
yeah.
Like those two paired together. I mean, maybe this is good. Maybe they keep sucking and they get a good wing and make the team better. I don't know.
Well, I mean, another first round pick this year.
Ugh.
Gave it to the Hawks.
Why are teams so dumb?
Okay. Well,
Okay, they got Doncic.
Yeah, you're doing Doncic and
Okay.
a future first for
Okay,
Trae
I
Young
guess.
10 times out of 10.
The dumber team is the Kings.
Yes, true.
Why are the Kings such a bad franchise?
You know, that's a great question.
Like, I never loved Marvin Bagley, but I wouldn't mind seeing him be on a good franchise. I want to see him in the playoffs. He's a
Yeah.
great player.
Yeah.
else?
Let's stay on the Suns Mavs though
Yeah,
for just
no, I'm not
just
going
a
to jump
sec.
to the Kings yet.
No Dirk in this game, which is disappointing.
Yeah, do we know why?
Huh? Injured.
I didn't
I
know-
think
okay.
some sort of injury,
Okay.
I would assume, because he was on a suit in the.
I never actually heard why.
But in his absence, Dwight Powell looked awesome. Dwight Powell is really good.
Uh-huh. 16 points, 5 boards, 6 of 8 from the field.
He is freaky athletic. He's super strong inside. He's he's a very versatile big man, and I really like that piece going forward.
How do you feel about J.J. Barea backing up this backcourt?
I mean, not fantastic because he's old and not that great.
Jalen Brunson got 19 minutes.
Exactly. I'd much
Yeah.
rather see Jalen Brunson in those minutes. So,
I mean, neither of them did. Oh, J.J. Barea had 10 assists, but other than that, neither of them did that much.
no.
But
I mean,
I'm excited for the concept of Jalen Brunson as the backup. The concept of a backcourt of Luka Doncic and Dennis Smith, and then you take one of them off and put Jalen Brunson in. That's
Exciting
hopefully going to be a lot of fun in 2022.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a legit shot in 2022.
When we're 28 years old and I'm watching basketball with my 2 kids, we're going to have a lot of fun watching Jalen Brunson, Luka Doncic, and Dennis Smith Jr. going up against LeBron James and his son.
Yeah.
Again on the Lakers.
Luke and Leia Griffith. Is that the plan there?
No. Believe it or not, I don't want to name my children Luke and Leia.
You know, that's kind of what I thought this was going for in the possibility that you end up with children.
Possibility?
Yeah, I joked.
One's gonna be Clara after Santa Clara Vanguard, obviously.
Nice, good take.
But what's Santa Clara Vanguard, Josh? I don't think most of our viewers know what that is.
That would be a drum corps.
A world champion drum corps, 7-time world champion, and a new league championship basketball franchise.
Jesus Christ, we need to end this podcast immediately. We need to.
All right, let's get back to real basketball, guys. All right, thoughts on the Suns, because the Suns had some good. Jacob, they're going to be an NBA franchise this year. Is it mainly
for them.
because of Devin Booker getting better or DeAndre Ayton being on the roster?
I mean, both really help, but damn, Devin Booker, 35 points, an MVP chance.
If this team has a point guard, it's like a fringe playoff team.
Okay, I don't understand this thing about the Suns fans clamoring for a point guard. Devin Booker is your point guard. Devin Booker needs the ball in his hands as much as humanly possible. Okay. I don't think they need to be First off, this idea of the point guard and the shooting guard is incredibly antiquated, and that's not where the current NBA is. Right, you need two guards.
Okay.
And one of them has the ball in their hands primarily, and the other one is more of a defender spot up shooter.
I like the instead of point guard shooting guard, I like the concept of
playmaker.
No, I like calling the shooting guard. I forget the exact term, but off ball.
Sure.
Guard, whatever what's the term there I'm looking for? Off ball guard.
I don't know what you. I'm confused.
Two guard.
Sure.
That concept. I'm looking for the word, but I'm blanking on it. But please continue. I'm with you.
Yeah. So I just they need two guards, and so this idea that they need a super traditional point guard who needs the ball in their hands, they want Drew Holiday or I don't know, these very typical point guards, and I kind of get that if you're building this team on 2K.
Yeah.
But Devin Booker needs the ball in his hands as much as possible, and you need to find another guard who's going to mesh with him and be great where he's not, and that's in defense, and that's in taking on the other team's best guard and being a little bit more of a facilitator.
So
I don't know, just a more
Jamal Crawford.
I'm gonna say an Ixday on that one. But a more traditional a more traditional defensive-minded two guard is who I'd want on that team.
Is there a prototype?
Peak Avery Bradley is who I'm picturing for this team.
Okay.
And so that kind of Gary Harris right now would be awesome pairing.
Now, obviously, we're talking about a universe where the Warriors aren't locking up the West every year anymore. In 3 to 4 years, you'd have to hope.
Yeah.
Because eventually, Warriors are great, fun to watch, incredible franchise. I would love to see some of these young teams with potential eventually be able to win a title.
This is the last year of Warriors reign to me.
Thank God.
I think.
Because when I say thank God, I really don't want to sound like one of those lazy NBA fans who's just the Warriors are so annoying. They gotta stop winning. Because incredible the way they built that franchise.
Yes.
I just want to see all these great young teams in the West have a shot at something.
Yeah.
And be playing for something.
I just want to see a 2011 Thunder team again. A team that isn't supposed to make it but has the young pieces and way overachieves.
I want to watch last year's Pelicans team look great in the playoffs and not have they're not going anywhere in the back of my head.
Yeah.
But speaking of the Suns, my question for you is in that universe in a couple of years where the West is winnable again, is this team of Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Trevor Ariza, kind of your best players, and then you toss in Mikal Bridges, Josh Jackson, maybe a little bit of T.J. Warren, and this extra guard you're talking about. Is that a Western Conference contender in 2 or 3 years?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
This team, they have a really nice core. As much as I hate to admit it, the Suns rebuild has gone well.
I'm not gonna lie, there was a pit in my stomach when you said yeah to that question. I was like,
I know. I didn't like the Suns before I got here because it's a Lakers rival in quotes. You have to beat them to be a rival, but
quote unquote, Sixers, right?
Exactly. But even worse. But anywho,
Padres Dodgers.
Bingo. There you go. But yeah, they're what they've done. I think they have a really solid team idea. They have an idea in their head of what they want this to be. They built nicely around Booker, and they're one piece away from being a real contender.
Would not be shocked if their ownership made a really dumb move and kind of ruined it though.
Oh, not at all. Not in the least.
If they were like, oh, we can get we can get Dirk Nowitzki for DeAndre Ayton in a first. Hell yeah. Wouldn't be stunned.
James Jones, though, is their new GM, which means that LeBron James, there's an 100% chance LeBron James will end his career in Phoenix.
As is the guy who always wins with LeBron James.
Bingo. Literally that guy retired out of the NBA 2 years ago, and now he's the GM of the Suns.
That's incredible.
I think they're
like on 2K when guys would like Dirk Nowitzki retires, Tim Duncan retires and shows up as his assistant coach.
Exactly.
I love that. It's my favorite thing on 2K.
So that obviously means LeBron James, future Phoenix Sun. So that's exciting. But no, this young core is really exciting, really fun to watch. They're one other guard away from being competent, from a legit NBA title contender.
I think that's fair.
And that's really exciting. The progression from Josh Jackson has been huge this offseason. Like he showed some stuff in his first game that I did not expect to see out of him. He was showing some creativity with the ball in his hands. He looked like a solid spot-up shooter. And if both those things are true and his defense stays the same, because as a rookie, he was an elite defender. He was special as a rookie, which I did not personally see coming. Coming into the draft, everyone's like, yeah, he's going to be a good defender and maybe projects forward as one of the more elite stoppers in this league. But from day one, he was awesome. And so if they're able to throw all of this together, Josh Jackson is a legit 3, DeAndre Ayton is a legit 5, Devin Booker is a legit 1, they're only a couple pieces away.
Yeah, for sure. One question, I think we've got enough Suns talking, as much as we can handle.
Yeah.
One question based off of last night doesn't necessarily have to do with the way players necessarily looked or any kind of reactions, but something Josh and I talked about while looking through some of the early scores. This Bucks-Hornets game, Giannis obviously goes off for 25, 18, and 8. You said it, Dante DiVincenzo from Villanova looked pretty good. But current NBA scoring leader, Kemba Walker with 41 points. My question to you has nothing to do with his performance last night. My question is, as Juice and I were talking about last night, what is the Hornets' best move with him, and who is the team that can get and can do the most with him?
Interesting.
What's the ideal? Because Kemba Walker's a great player and has done nothing in the NBA because he's been on a terrible franchise.
True.
What is the ideal future for Kemba Walker, both in terms of what the Hornets can do, like a win-win-win for everyone, like team, other team, Kemba, fans, everyone. What's the best scenario?
And it really depends how this early season stretch goes for the Hornets, because the East is weak enough that this could be a 5 seed.
Yeah, they could sneak in.
Not even sneak in. That's the thing. Be a legit presence.
When I say sneak in, they could surprise us by slipping into the playoffs and be. Okay, I don't mean to use that terminology, but you get what I mean. They could step in and surprise us.
Yes, that's my So they
slide in. Let's say that.
Sure.
Not sneak, but they could jump into the.
So that's the thing. If they could be like a 5-4 seed, and if that's their ceiling, they probably keep this core together. Because why not?
So,
in an East as whack as this, one injury, one weird.
Can you call this a core?
I mean, okay, it's Kemba and Malik Monk, and then Miles Bridges, kind of.
Malik Monk came off the bench and had the second most minutes on the team.
Yeah. Because he's good.
Yeah, he's really good. No, he's really
good. They have a new coach who doesn't like. So
I'm not gonna Kemba, Miles Bridges, and Malik Monk isn't a bad core in 3 years.
Exactly. This Steve Clifford was fired this offseason, and he had kind of some interesting ideas of how this team should be run. I'm gonna miss his name, but I think it's Borrego or something along those lines. Is their new coach, and he has no real preconceptions about who these players are or what they've done for him in the past.
Hey, James Borrego.
Nice. So I'm not. He has no preconceptions. He has no real. So clearly, this is just a blank slate, and this is a fantastic debut for Walker, for Malik Monk especially, for someone as derisive as Malik Monk. I think there's two very select camps with him on his NBA future, and this was certainly a big moment for the Malik Monk's going to be awesome camp.
Sure. One question I have for you is, if you're the Hornets, and say you don't put it together, and Kemba's playing out of his mind, but you're 5, 6, 7 games under 500.
Interesting.
At the end of the calendar year or nearing the All-Star break, are you trying to get him out of your roster, and get something like a top 10-ish pick, to have 2 top 10 picks in a top heavy draft, and then go forward with a core of Bridges, Monk, and maybe a Zion or a Cam or a Nasir Little?
I mean, in the perfect world, that's exactly what you're looking for.
You think that's possible?
That's the thing. In a vacuum, Kemba Walker is worth the top 10 pick.
Right.
But
what team's going to give him
in a league where everyone has point guards.
Right.
And this is so in this scenario, you're trading Kemba Walker to a team that's picking in the top 10. So in this scenario, they don't have a point guard.
Are the Kings dumb enough? They don't have a pick.
Exactly. There's no real dumb franchise.
So yes, they are dumb enough. They just don't have the pick to give it up.
So I just worry about. I question what team's going to give up a top 10 pick for the caliber of player they're projecting to get there, except just 8 years, 10 years down the road. You know,
because Kemba's not that old, though.
He's not that old, but he's okay.
He's what, 7 years in? Because 2011 was the year he won the championship and then he left.
Yeah, so he's a 2012 draft.
He's probably right in the middle of his career right now.
Exactly. This is the best Kemba Walker we're gonna see.
Oh, that's so sad.
It is, but I think that's just a reality of a player like Kemba Walker. Is that always super talented, super
Larry
good,
Fitzgerald of the NBA.
Okay, let's not get too crazy. Larry Fitzgerald's like a top 10 wide receiver.
Okay, like a really, really good player who has no foreseeable future of winning a championship.
I think you might be overrating Kemba a little bit too much. Okay. Kemba's good, but like these seem. I mean, who else is scoring on this team? Like, yeah, he's dropping 41, but
that's
who is he taking the ball from here? I mean, I think
I don't know. Maybe the Big East. The Big East is coming out of me.
I think that makes a lot of sense. Team
was so fun.
I will forever remember fondly that step back over that giant pit dude. What is his name?
Gary McGee.
That was his name, really.
Yeah.
That is a fitting name for
Gary McGee.
That step back over Gary McGee where he falls down and looks like a fool.
The thing about that Big East for me was every night someone I hated won and someone I hated lost. So that night Pitt got embarrassed and that was awesome, but UConn won. And you know what UConn did the next night? Beat Cuse in overtime.
Really?
Took them to overtime and then ended up winning that game, winning the Big East, winning the national title.
Yeah.
People forget that year's Big East, only team to ever send 11 teams to the tournament, and its 9 seed was its champion and in the national championship.
Jesus.
In a league that sent 11 teams, 9 of them seeded 6th or better.
That's ridiculous. That's
Holy
actually insane.
Cow.
Yeah.
9 teams.
That's insane.
This literally was talking peak Cuse, peak Georgetown, peak Louisville, peak Marquette, peak UConn. But Kemba, I'm sorry, I could talk about the old Big East for years.
Can't believe you just said peak Marquette there for 2011. Are you really called that peak Marquette?
Of the last 15 years?
I mean,
in the post Dwayne Wade and Jimmy Butler era?
There you go. We can't go post Jimmy Butler.
Okay, in the post Dwayne Wade era.
There you go.
Yes, that was by far peak. Because that was the year. Marquette's bad. Marquette's usually, like, as a program, the last 10 years, they're not good. And they don't do a lot with success. The best they've done the past several years, and I hate to admit it, was that year when they went to the Sweet 16 as an 11 seed, upsetting 3 seed Syracuse on a Scoop Jardine backcourt violation that made me a little teary. I'm not gonna lie.
It makes you a little teary now.
He goes backcourt, and I throw my fists into my couch. I was so mad. I always hated Marquette.
Okay, we got slightly off topic. Totally a little bit off
I'm so ready for college basketball. I'm sorry. But the Hornets and Kemba.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. The more I look at this Hornets roster, the more I think it could be good in the next year or two, or even this year because of how bad the East is.
Yeah.
If Miles Bridges and Malik Monk are what we think they can be.
Exactly.
And obviously Willie Hernangomez.
Miles Bridges needs to step up big time. He needs to get way more play time.
That was a joke. I don't think Willie Hernangomez is that good.
Really? Okay. Will these Guillermo as I think what he prefers. I don't know if that's what he prefers to be called anymore.
What?
Yeah. That's his given name.
I prefer Willie.
Anywho, Guillermo / Willie Hernangomez, pretty solid. Pretty good.
Sure.
Like he's a solid NBA piece.
He's solid.
Exactly.
He's
not in that core though. He's not in that group.
That was the joke. Yeah.
But no. I like this Hornets core is okay. I like their coach. Big takeaway. The biggest takeaways from this game for me personally, their court is fantastic.
Yes.
Okay. Josh is showing me Willie Hernangomez's Wikipedia page that lists his name as Guillermo Gustavo Hernangomez Guerre. So,
what a name!
That's pretty cool.
But his nickname, it says in quotes, Willie.
Yeah, that's his nickname. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know how you get Willie from
Guillermo. I can see it. If you change the GU to a W.
Gustavo Hernangomez Guerre.
Maybe Guillermo, like the way he says it really fast. The G really soft, and it sounds like Guillermo, like Willie. No, that doesn't work at all.
Exactly.
You should probably stop talking.
Okay. Here's my thing. If you take the U and if you swap, you erase the G and Guillermo, you've got a thing that kind of looks like Will.
Kind of, sure.
That's the closest I can think of.
I assume when Guillermo came to the United States and nobody could pronounce his name, he's like, fuck, I gotta do something different. I'm gonna make it Willie. That's my guess. But who knows? Anywho, back to my big takeaways. Hornets court, looked incredible.
Amazing.
But their uniforms were very strange because those pinstripes, it was like stripes. I wouldn't call it true pinstripes, but they had stripes. But they didn't extend to the shorts.
There's like 3 stripes down
so
the middle.
It was 3 stripes down the middle of their jersey, and then their shorts were completely white, and it made me really mad because it could have been gorgeous if they just made it a true pinstripes with throwback to the 90s. That would have been orgasmic.
Okay. Those are not pinstripes. Those are just ugly vertical stripes.
Exactly. Okay, so not truly pinstripes, but they are stripes, and they don't extend to the shorts, and that makes me mad.
Yankees fan. Pinstripes? Are those pinstripes?
Okay, if you're going to do pinstripes, what you have to do is complete the uniform. Just look at any baseball team with pinstripes. The Mets, the Cubs, the Yankees, literally any team that has pinstripes.
Mets have pinstripes?
The Mets do have pinstripes on their home jerseys. Real Mets fan right here, Jeff Griffin.
Go Mets.
Anyway.
I'm buying a Syracuse Mets jersey.
Anyway.
What?
It's just kind of like a common thing. Like, you don't want to have pinstripes just on the bottom. Like that just looks bad.
So they tried to do it just on the top and then not on the bottom, and interesting. And looked whack. The best pinstripes in the NBA are the Orlando Magic, and they rocked those last night, and they were gorgeous. Mm-hmm. Gorgeous. Played the Bulls, who were rocking all red, and just that aesthetic combo was so incredibly pleasing. It made me flutter with joy.
Yes, except it was the Heat.
Oh yeah, there was the Heat. Ah, crap.
I'm like, I know the Bulls were 0-0 because their first game was
right. Okay, I remembered red in my mind, and I was like, oh, Bulls, obviously. Heat. Sorry, guys.
Jacob, real NBA fan here.
I know, really. I'm the worst. Okay, Magic Heat.
That was probably one of the most exciting games last night.
Still a very aesthetically pleasing combo. But yeah, no, it was a good game. The Magic are fun.
You know what else was a good game?
Yeah.
Pistons Nets.
Nets.
Talk me through your Nets. You talk me through the opening night.
All right.
What were you impressed with?
So I'm going to start from the beginning. So last night, I sent a tweet to Jacob and Jeff. I was sitting in my class.
I love the Nets.
And the Nets put out a tweet saying our starting lineup. Here's our starting 5. And I'm like, let's go. And I look at it, and it's just a blank, white slate with 5 black squares. And I'm like, okay, cool. It's gonna be like a little GIF. And I'm going to click on it, and the pictures of the players are going to pop up. Awesome. And I clicked on it, and it didn't do anything. And I'm like, what is this? And I realized it was a JPEG, and the Nets were trying to tweet a GIF, but instead they tweeted a JPEG. So they hadn't even stepped on the court yet, and they already took an L in social media. And I sent that to Jacob and Jeff, and I'm like, first L of the season, let's go.
They took the second.
Yeah, first of many L's.
So the Nets are already 0-2.
The Nets are already 0-2. The Nets
worst in the league, number 1 pick.
The Nets might finish this season 0-83 just because of that extra L.
That'd be dope.
Wow.
No, but on the court, I liked some of the pieces the Nets had. Jared Allen, proud owner of Blake Griffin's manhood.
You can say testicles.
That's
what you said last night.
That's what you said last night. Yeah, don't shortchange yourself like that.
He already dropped an F-bomb. The bar's been set so low.
Jared Allen, I believe, owns Blake Griffin's testicles because of the 2 nasty blocks that Jared Allen performed on Blake Griffin dunk attempts.
Performed on after saying testicles.
That's why, Jeff. That's why.
That was the whitest way anyone's ever said testicles.
He performed a block on his testicles.
Anywho, to clarify Josh's point, one of the final games of the preseason, Jared Allen with a ridiculous block on Blake Griffin. And then opening night tonight, a similarly incredible block. Mm-hmm. So 2 basically back-to-back games against the Pistons.
As a Sixers fan whose biggest rival is the Detroit Pistons, as we saw last year, I have to say I was very proud of the Nets.
This Pistons team's interesting. This Pistons team, I'm not really sure where they're headed, if I'm going to be honest.
Leading scorers for Brooklyn, Karis LeVert and Spencer Dinwiddie, who both shot 10 of 18 from the field.
Spencer Dinwiddie, Bitcoin genius. That's, I think, the most important fact about Spencer Dinwiddie.
What aspects of this core are eventually going to be on an idealistic version of the Nets?
Jared Allen.
Is he that good? Not you, Jacob.
Jared Allen's your 5th best starter, that's a championship team.
Deal. What is he now?
What do you
Second?
mean? On this team? Third I'd go. Right.
Behind
Dinwiddie and Russell. And then
who's that starter, though?
What's up?
Okay, he's a major rotation player.
Yeah, okay, I'm saying major rotation pieces. He's probably the third, maybe fourth behind LeVert.
Dinwiddie didn't start, but he played 32 minutes.
Yeah, so.
So wait, so he's the fourth behind LeVert. So you're telling me if he becomes the fifth, and they have
Yeah,
one
okay,
player,
I mean, yeah, functional.
and they have D'Angelo Russell, Karis LeVert, Spencer Dinwiddie, all point guards.
Yeah, that's it.
And then one other player is better than Jared Allen. They're a championship.
Their championship team, obviously.
As long as that other player is better than Jared Allen. Okay, got it.
Exactly. You gotta figure it out.
My question for you is, what pieces of this core have to stay together to build around for the future?
Zero. None of these pieces are for sure on this championship team.
Okay.
If I'm being honest, I think Jared Allen has the best shot.
Sure.
Just because I think his skill set is the most unique of the players on the Nets right now.
Yeah.
But
what's your next move? Just keep picking.
I mean, they're finally have their picks back. This is their first year of getting picks. So yeah, that's the game plan for the Nets now.
I'd like to add one more thing. So the Nets' first round pick, Musa, I believe is how you say his last name.
I thought he was a second. Was he the exchange?
Musa?
Yes.
What about him?
So the Nets have been hyping him up this entire offseason. He's gonna be so good. They tweeted out a GIF of him. I want to say yesterday.
A GIF.
Yes, a GIF. It was either a GIF or a JPEG. I don't remember.
When
but
you
they
see a
tweeted
GIF
out
of somebody, you know they're legit.
They tweeted out a GIF of him, and they're like, "Yeah, we can't wait. It's day 0 because his number is 00, and he didn't even play last night."
That's upsetting.
So again, I would be. I could be talked into saying that the Nets took 3 losses last night.
Wow, that's a rough start for your Brooklyn Nets.
But I feel like they should still have respect because of the block that Jared Allen pulled on Blake Griffin.
Blake Griffith.
Yeah.
Great last name. As someone who's frequently called Jeff Griffin, I'm with him.
Staying on the Nets. Speaking of draft picks, the draft pick that I'm most excited for the Nets is a guy by the name of Rodion Kruoks. And I know that because I looked up the pronunciation as we're doing it. Because as I'm looking at his name, I just had no idea. But this guy is actually super talented and should have been a first-round pick. But NBA teams wanted him to stay over in Europe to keep developing. Sure. And he's like, nah, not about that life. I'm only going to a team that allows me to play in the NBA this year. So this is a first-round talent that fell all the way to the 40th pick of the second round for the Nets.
Yeah.
Or 40 pick total, 10th pick of the second round. And fell in the Nets, and I think he's going to be a solid contributor. He's good. Uh-huh. He is a legit NBA piece, and I'm excited to see how the Nets use him because there's not a lot going well in Brooklyn right now.
Can I flip the conversation here to the Pistons?
Sure.
Question. Is Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond the most underrated front court in the NBA?
Oh, no, I mean, not underrated, but okay. I think statistically they're going to put up some gaudy numbers, but this is exactly the same stuff we saw with Griffin and DeAndre Jordan. I mean, he literally went from the DeAndre Jordan of the West to the DeAndre Jordan of the East.
The Pistons started Bruce Brown.
I know, right? I learned that as I pulled up there.
Age 22, drafted in the second round. Wow.
Yeah, to Miami.
From Miami,
right?
Wow.
Not even the best guard on those Miami teams.
No, it was the third best guard.
And he started on this Pistons. That's crazy. Yeah, this Pistons is a crap show. But,
it's a crap show in the backcourt after Reggie Jackson.
I guess. I don't know. So to further answer
Andre Drummond and Blake Griffin are good players, and Reggie Jackson's fine.
I think they're fine players. I think there are a lot of empty stats.
Also, they beat the Nets by only 3 points yesterday. The Nets could have won that game, and I think that says a lot more about the Pistons than it does the Nets.
Oh, for sure. The biggest thing I stand by that a take I made last year that some didn't agree with, but I think you did, was that nobody won that Pistons-Clippers trade.
Exactly. Nobody won that.
Was the most dumb, meaningless swap of players. Because the Pistons didn't really get it. The Pistons got Blake Griffin post-prime.
Yeah.
In a year where they're not going to win anything anyway. And they gave up young pieces to the Clippers who were already just going to be fine.
But not even that young.
None of those pieces were that young or that great.
Tobias Harris was the best piece they got.
Yeah, and that's not even that impressive.
No.
Literally, you just took 2 8 seeds and made them both 8 seeds again. Maybe.
Exactly. Neither team got better.
They were both in the playoffs when they made that trade, or 8 or 9, and then they both fell out.
Yeah, neither of those teams won that trade. The Pistons, I mean, the Dwayne Casey hiring is nice. I think that's going to raise their relevancy by a couple wins, but there's nothing here real exciting.
No.
I think it's time to move on. I think we've already given too much airtime to the Pistons.
Way too much. A lot of other things that we could talk about. We've already been on for over 50 minutes. Do you want to transition into a little bit of college to wrap up? Or
Okay, no, I have a couple more points I want to
there are
make.
a couple other great games. I'm not just constrained to any time here, so we can.
I say we keep
as
going.
long as y'all keep listening, all three of you, we can keep rolling.
Last game I wanted to, or not last, one of the last few games I want to talk about is Nuggets game. Nuggets Clippers.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Nuggets won by 9, but the Clippers blew a double-digit fourth quarter lead to.
Yeah, they got outscored 33-26 in the fourth.
Yeah, this was not a great showing from the Clippers, but a fantastic showing from Nikola Jokic.
Yes,
which is leading me into my next
21,
point.
8 and 5.
That Nikola Jokic is a sleeper MVP candidate.
Whoa.
Nikola Jokic needs to be in the MVP conversation, and he's going to put up some absolutely bonkers numbers this year.
Sure,
Don't
disagree.
The Nuggets got substantially better simply by gonna have a full season of Paul Millsap. Only played 30 games last year.
Yeah, he had 11 and 16 last night.
That's a top 30 NBA player that's functionally adding to their roster. All of their young core got better. Will Barton's slotted in the starting lineup now. That's an improvement over Wilson Chandler. I think I love exactly where this Nuggets team is going, and I think Jokic is going to put up some Bill Walton-esque numbers. I think we could see him in his best possible finish for this year is something like 27 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists, something ridiculous. And he's going to be so much fun to watch.
21, 8 and 5 last night.
He's
on his way.
He's really good. We have not seen a center be the focal point of an offense like this in a while.
That might be the most not slept on, but just kind of forgotten great backcourt in the NBA.
Murray and Harris?
Front court, excuse me.
Oh.
Millsap and Jokic.
Yeah.
A front court that people know are like, oh, those are two good players. But, like, honestly, if you were to ask me, if you were to say to me, who's the Nuggets front court, like a week ago, I would have been like, Jokic and somebody else? Like, I probably wouldn't have remembered that they have two of the best bigs in the NBA.
Yeah.
I mean, when I say of the best, I mean, like, the top 20 or so.
I mean, Jokic is a top 10 NBA player, and Millsap is a top 30.
Yeah. And that's impressive. I think if they can get more than expected out of this kind of confusing backcourt,
yeah,
then they can be pretty special this year. I mean, special meaning a Western Conference playoff team.
Okay, that's the thing though. Their best case scenario is a 2 seed. Yeah,
I love the West for that reason.
Exactly.
I love that there are 8 teams who can be the 2 seed.
Exactly. I think this Nuggets team is super talented. If Murray and Harris are able to grow together symbiotically, because they work off each other so well. Oh yeah, that was a word, boys. That was a SAT word right there. Did I use it correctly?
I think we both looked at each other and thought Venom.
Oh,
like the symbiote and Venom.
Freaking nerds. Anywho, Murray and Harris, they work.
Terrible movie, by the way.
Shut up.
Sorry.
Yeah. Don't slander Venom like that.
Go see. Can you ever forgive me? Don't go see Venom.
Wow.
Go.
Okay, that's a take. Anywho, the way that Murray and Harris are able to work off each other, and I think they're going to be able to grow together, just dramatically improves this team's ceiling.
Sure.
I love their bench. I think they're super deep. Malik Beasley's really awesome for them coming off the bench. Trey Lyles, after leaving Utah, has just improved substantially. Monte Morris, remember him from Iowa State? He's solid. He's like, couldn't you? I think we could all see this in college that his future was a above average NBA backup point guard.
Sure.
And that's exactly the role he's playing here.
7 points in 16 minutes. What else you want?
My good friend of mine who's a Nuggets fan, as much as he loves Isaiah Thomas, wants Monte Morris in that backup point guard slot instead. So I mean there is some competition there.
Yeah.
This team legit goes 8-9 deep. They're really talented.
Yeah, Isaiah Thomas, one of 2 great players that on the Nuggets that didn't play last night. Him and Tyler Lydon. And I think there's your future.
There's your future.
Oh, Millsap, what the hell?
If you're building around 2 people on the Nuggets, it's Tyler Lydon and literally anybody else. Like, you can slot at anybody. Tyler Lydon is...
I just want to see him make 1-3 in the playoffs. Just one.
Wow.
Just put him out there in garbage time when you're getting beat by the Warriors by 30. Just please.
That's a take.
Because Malachi is not doing anything. Carmelo's washed up. Tyler Ennis doesn't exist anymore.
Dion Waiters is still functioning.
That's true. It's Michael Benager is somewhere.
Yeah, Pistons, I think.
Is he still a Piston?
I want to say he's probably still a Piston.
Yeah, we need to get Tyus Battle and O'Shea into the league.
Yeah.
Darius Baisley counts. I will call him a Syracuse alumni in 20 years when I'm talking. Hey, you see that old guy, Darius Baisley, kids? He went to Syracuse.
Okay, I hope one of me or Josh is there to correct you and make fun of you, but probably not.
Well,
yeah.
in 20 years, you'll probably be able to know I said that, and like it'll flicker
exactly,
something in your head.
Yeah.
It'll call me, hey, yo, tell your kids you're wrong. Like,
no, we'll pop up on a hologram in your
Yeah.
house and be like, yo, your dad's a dum-dum. Anywho, yeah, really loved what I said from the Nuggets. Clippers, kind of what I expected. I think they're going to be super bad this year. I think this is my
Clippers.
Yeah. Just because like they have no pieces, they have no motivation to win.
Yeah, they're one of those. They're one of those teams that they're just so like the perfect word is just middling.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing good, nothing really bad.
Okay, they have one thing really good, and it comes in a 7-foot like 6 package, and his name is Boban Marjanovic.
Okay,
he's awesome. He's so much fun. Like they were talking about on the broadcast, like with the Pistons, he's kind of just like this piece, like this novelty item. Like, oh, he's really tall, he can't really move. Look how fun this is. But the Clippers are like, okay, we're gonna use you as a legit NBA asset because that's what he is. He's super good. He's super talented. He messed with the backboard last night. They had to stop the game and fix the basket because of him. He's so much fun to watch. I'm excited for him and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Those are the only 2 pieces I'm really excited for on this team. Everything else is just it's just like a bunch of NBA vets trying to get their money, and like shout out to them. Good for you. But one final point about the Clippers: why did Luke Richard Mbah a Moute sign there? He was such an important piece for the Rockets, and then he's like, nah, I'm gonna take functionally the same amount of money to go play in LA for the Clippers. Like, I get the LA part, but really?
Yeah, no.
Really? Come on.
That's nuts.
So, yeah. Interesting night there.
Yeah. I mean, a couple other things stick out. I mean, the Grizzlies looked like crap.
Yeah, they've done like 40-something at one point.
C.D. Osman had a nice game for the Cavs, but they lost.
That's exciting. Raptors look good. Kawhi looked great in his debut.
Yep.
Throwing up I think it was like 23 and 16, 24 and 13.
Kyle Lowry, 27 and 8.
Yeah.
Kawhi, 24 and 12.
Another big takeaway from this game, Jordan Clarkson got a lot more ink this summer. I think people should know that. He went from the Lakers and probably 1 or 2 tattoos to the Cavs, and now it's like sleeves and a bunch of neck shit. It's kind of weird. Kind of a personality shift for Jordan Clarkson.
Is this Cavs team as terrible?
He's been hanging out with J.R. Smith, who
would make a lot of sense considering their teammates.
Is this Cavs team as terrible as we thought?
What do you think they're going to be?
I don't know. I just like are they really as bad as we think they're going to be? Like,
I think they're a fringe playoff team. I think they're like
I'd agree.
9-10.
That's what I would probably say. I don't know. I think they've got some. I think losing LeBron was rough. But like, I don't.
Wait. You're telling me losing the GOAT is rough.
So the Jazz beat the Kings.
No, I see what you're saying. Yes, the Cavs are going to be okay.
Yeah.
The loss of LeBron obviously, like that's just so deflating for a franchise as a whole. Like I don't know how you really recover from that.
Yeah. Anyway, Jazz beat the Kings. Kings looked okay, but lost. Rudy Gobert 19 and 15. Nothing else really jumps out about last night. I mean, T-Wolves almost won in San Antonio.
Hold one sec for this Jazz Kings thing.
Yeah,
little disappointing if you're the Jazz because you're coming in this year like we are an elite defensive unit. This is our identity.
Yeah,
we're gonna hold teams under 100 points, and then game one you give up 117 to the Kings. Like really? You're gonna give up 18 points to Nemanja Bjelica? Like. I'm gonna butcher his name for the rest of his first name for the rest of my life.
He's an elite NBA talent, Jacob.
I'm pretty sure it's Nemanja.
Nemanja Bjelica. I've got his last name down, Pat Bjelica, but I cannot get his first name.
I think it's Nemanja.
Okay, well, cool. This Kings team though, they started Yogi Ferrell. That's really weird.
Yikes.
Marvin Bagley only got 12 minutes. Harry Giles only got 10. Like I don't really understand what's going on here. Especially
it's good because they can tank for their pick.
See, but this isn't tanking. This is being weird. What?
Think about that.
Oh, okay. I understood for your purposes. I thought...
I was joking about how they don't have their pick because they're a terrible organization.
Okay, I got... Because you've been talking pre-show about how you need them to take really bad.
That's also true.
Because you have the 1 seed, and they're clearly just like, nah, we're going to be okay. Yeah. We're going to be this middling franchise for some reason. I don't really get it. But you're right, they don't have a pick. But, like, if you're a Sixers fan, you're like, what are you doing?
Why did they give Marvin Bagley 12 minutes?
Great question.
Literally what Jacob just said.
Oh, did he?
That's okay. Like I said, they only give Harry Giles 10 minutes. Like they
give Justin Jackson
30.
What?
Yep. This is a weird, a strangely run. I mean, I love Dave Yeager too. I think Dave Yeager is one of the best coaches in the NBA.
Willie Cauley-Stein and De'Aaron Fox combined for 76 minutes.
But like, what are you doing here? What's the plan? What is the even short-term plan to be like competent? Is it really starting Bjelica and Willie Cauley-Stein? Like, how do you not see the writing on the wall that like, yeah, the season's lost, but let's see what we have in a pairing of Bagley and Willie Cauley-Stein, or Bagley and and Giles, or even Giles and Willie Cauley-Stein. Something's got to give.
If I'm Bagley and I'm sitting on the bench for 36 minutes of this game, I'm thinking to myself like, why?
What? Like, yeah, I'm the second overall pick. Like, what am I doing here?
Yeah,
so that's disappointing.
And like you said, the Jazz Would have liked to see a little better from them.
Yeah, really.
Donovan had an okay game.
Yeah, exactly. Fine game for Donovan Mitchell.
Gobert at 22 or 19 and 15.
They're just as deep though as I remember, which is exciting.
Of course.
So I like this team. I'm excited to see how the Jazz go forward.
Ricky Rubio, nice game, 1 point.
Moving on though, anything Knicks Hawks was okay.
I'm really interested to see how high Alonzo Trier can fly.
Yeah, awesome. He's
not just literally speaking, but like obviously like figuratively speaking.
He's gonna be an all rookie team. I'm calling it now. He's gonna be second team all rookie.
Yeah, I think the NBA needs a good Knicks.
Exactly.
It needs exciting games at the Garden again.
Okay, listen to this next year's lineup for the Knicks, though. Okay, Frankie Nicotine.
Yeah.
Something at the 2.
Something at the 2.
Cam Reddish, KD, and Porzingis.
Okay, how do they get Cam?
Huh? They're bad. They're really bad. And
I don't think they're top 3 bad.
Really?
There are some bad teams in this league.
Okay, I don't know. The Hawks are worse, for sure.
Yes.
The Nets are probably worse.
The Knicks are the Kings are probably worse.
Are we sure, though?
I don't know. I guess
Porzingis isn't coming back till like January, February.
I guess we'll find out.
They're going to be really bad, I think, and so something like that. Frankie Nicotine, Cam Reddish, Porzingis, and Durant, and then one other piece.
That's a top 4 team.
That's awesome. That's such an awesome team.
And to have games like that at the Garden.
Exactly. With the Celtics good again, with the Sixers good again. Imagine how awesome those games would be.
My dad always tells me he was always a big Knicks fan. I mean, we kind of lost interest now that they've been rough. But him and my mom will go to games at the Garden a lot, and he would tell me about just like. He had said there's no experience in sports for him like just the insanely loud chants of defense. He said it was like the most deafening thing he's ever heard.
Yeah, Madison Square Garden looks awesome. Like
You need to go.
Oh my god, I have to go. I think every basketball, any fan of sports in general, has to go to the Garden.
I have not been because the Knicks have been rough for a while, and I'm not going to go to a Rangers game at the Garden.
Yeah, I've only been for 2 college games.
Really?
I was a doubleheader last year, the Jimmy V Classic. It was. Villanova Gonzaga with that Mikal Bridges dunk and the big night everyone called him an NBA prospect, and then Syracuse UConn. So 2 shitty.
I'm just going to clear this up right now for any of our listeners who don't know. I am an Islanders fan. That's a hockey team. And their arch rivals are the Rangers. I figured I'd clear it up.
Basketball podcast.
Thank you for the clarification.
I wanted to clear it up. I've mentioned
our fans were just racking their brains at home. Why won't he go to a Rangers game? Why won't he do it? Why? Why, Josh? And so now they have that answer.
Now they know.
Thank goodness.
Yes.
Thank goodness.
Why?
So I don't know. Not a whole lot of major takeaways from day one. I'm super excited the NBA is back. I love the composition of a lot of these teams. There's going to be a lot of friskiness in the NBA this year.
I have a $1 bet tonight on Philly -12 with one of our good friends from Chicago.
Wow.
Is that a good bet, you think?
-12, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
Because I think the Bulls are going to be fun this year. I think the Bulls are going to be all
I'm a little worried.
I think you should be. But home opener, I don't know. You know, I think the emotions will be riding high. I could totally see just an awesome game from JoJo and Ben Simmons.
That'd be dope.
So listeners, you've probably already watched these games, but for us recording Wednesday morning, Bulls, Sixers tonight, Heat, Wizards tonight, and Lakers opening up the season in Portland. I can't wait. LeBron's first time donning a Lakers uniform, donning the purple and gold. I am so excited. He's going to be so much fun to watch. I'm so excited to see how he's going to be. Yeah, he's going to be good to watch. Not a lot of breaking news here. But LeBron on the Lakers is a compelling storyline. But yeah, I think assume they're going to trot out their old lineup to begin. They're going to probably start with Rondo, KCP, Ingram at the 3, Lonzo, and then probably JaVale. So not the youth movement I think a lot of Lakers fans are looking for to start.
Wait, you didn't say LeBron in that starting lineup, did you?
Rondo, KCP, Ingram, LeBron, JaVale.
Okay, I could have sworn you said Lonzo instead of LeBron.
That's on me. But that kind of older lineup, not my personal favorite Laker lineup. I think they have much more interesting and unique combinations that they will be able to delve into to start the year. But opening night, I can't wait. I'm so excited to see this Lakers team. Any other big not predictions, but intriguing facts from today's games for you guys?
No.
Okay, perfect.
The Nets will not lose today, which is big, and they also
huge.
They might lose tomorrow because they're playing the Knicks.
They are, but that's okay.
At home.
Exactly, home opener in Barclays.
Yep.
Okay, what's the biggest game you're excited for this weekend? Is in Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Ooh, biggest game I'm excited for this weekend. That's a great question, and it would have to be Rockets Lakers.
I was gonna say that
Saturday night. 7:30.
Ooh.
Rockets traveling to LA for LeBron's home opener.
Yo.
That's gonna be awesome.
Sneaky fun game Sunday night. Warriors Nuggets in Denver.
Ooh,
That's gonna be a fun
intriguing.
one.
That's very intriguing. Yeah, there's some fun games this weekend.
Even better, Hornets Magic.
Oh,
Hawks
man.
Grizzlies.
Oh wow. Kings Pellies.
Warriors Jazz.
That's gonna be a
tomorrow.
tight one.
That'll be great. Warriors Jazz.
That'll be fun. That's tomorrow.
Yep. Pacers Bucks tomorrow. That'll be very interesting as well.
So I think what we're trying to say is, if
Pacers, Bucks,
you
playoff
had
preview.
plans this weekend,
First round.
you should cancel them because you should just be watching all these fun matchups in the NBA.
Sure.
Big
Yeah.
game tonight. ASU Stanford.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Jacob's first time covering college football. Let's go.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
Set up those prayers.
Thanks. Everyone needs my prayers, obviously. But yeah, I think NBA is back. We'll have a more comprehensive look at the college landscape. I'm thinking next week.
Yeah,
we're gonna push
all your preview.
Yeah,
I'll talk for about an hour and 5 of that hour and 10-minute podcast.
Okay, all I care about is St. John's. That's but we'll leave that as a little teaser for next one. For be rocking your brains, man-to-man fans. Be thinking about the St. John's. What is that? What is their even team name?
Red Storm.
The Red Storm. Okay, that's what I thought.
Believe it or not, they're not the Red Men anymore.
It was something weird. I remembered it was something weird.
It once was the Red Men.
Glad-
That's awful.
Glad they changed that. I don't think Red Storm is much better, but Red Men is.
Well, Red Men is legitimately racist. Red Storm is just dumb.
Okay, fair. There we go.
What storm is red?
The worst kind of
You
storms.
take some food coloring and put it in the storm and make it red.
Interesting.
Man,
we're gonna leave it on that one. We're gonna leave it on that one, folks. Thanks for listening. It's been a good one. Have a great weekend.